What's up, everybody? Welcome to ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. I'm Drew Boslake. You can find me on Twitter at ArtisticGamer28. That's the one, the only. It's Scott Savage. You can find him on Twitter at Savage. Scott, dude, welcome back. You know, I feel energized today. It's the holidays the long weekend's over. Anyways, how was your long weekend, man?
Oh, it was pretty good. I got to see some family, my brother's family, and
Nice.
I beat a couple games that we had for review. I cleaned them up, but I don't know if I beat them or if they beat me.
Ooh, what were you playing?
I was playing Trials Tricky. I destroyed that game. And then I went on to Observer System Redux. That is a trip.
Nice. Dude, I've been back on the grind for Assassin's Creed. Odyssey has got me sucked in, and every time I feel like I accomplished a little bit, more just keeps coming my way.
More of the map opens up, an entire geographical planet.
It's just like the game that never ends. So we'll see. I'm about 25 hours in, and there's still a ton to explore.
Have you seen the title screen yet?
Yeah, actually, you know what? So the very first time I played that game, I think I was 20 hours in before I saw that. So
yeah, that's what I remember from it too.
It's just like, whoa. But yeah, this time I knew a little bit more about the game. Obviously, it's been a while, but I had to start it all over again. I never finished it, so I want to finish it, start it all over again. And here we are 25 hours later, and I'm having a good time, but I'm like, man, there's a lot to cover. But dude, there's a lot to cover on today's show because Marvel's Avengers is backtracking on their statement. We get more hints at the rumored remake of MGS3, and Apple appeals the court's rulings. That's right, this has been ITG Daily, dude, so let's get kicking into it. Well, of course, you can always follow us over on InsideTheGame.ca, podcast services and TV streaming networks around the globe. Hit us up over on Twitter at the official ITG. Dude, you ready?
Oh, I'm ready.
Marvel's Avengers, dude, just at what point will they ever learn, right? Marvel's Avengers players say new consumable breaks developer promise because Marvel's Avengers has added consumable boosters into its marketplace despite developer Crystal Dynamics previously promising to never do so. This comes by Thomas McNutley over at Screen Rant. Dude, they said cosmetics is the only thing you will purchase in this game. Now you have consumable boosters, which gives you XP, all that kind of stuff, right? That you pay for. Something that they stated would never, ever come to the game. And here it is. Paid consumable items have been added to the Marvel's Avengers marketplace despite developers promising to only sell cosmetic skins, and fans are outraged. The superhero slugfest developed by Crystal Dynamics launched back in September 2020 to a lackluster reception. Yep, we've covered that heavily on this game, but Marvel's Avengers recently came to the Xbox Game Pass, the subscription service opening the game up to a wider audience of gamers. Marvel's Avengers features a mix of free expansions and paid DLC, with new heroes and quest lines being free for all users. So far, the title has received 3 new Avengers in the form of Kate Bishop, Hawkeye, and Black Panther. Black Panther was sick. Kate Bishop's wasn't bad, and I did enjoy Hawkeye, but you can also check those out at InsideTheGame.ca, where Steve and I cover that extensively over there. But with each new superhero coming with its own storyline, new locations and villains are also featured in these free operations, with Kate Bishop facing off against the super adaptoid while Hawkeye travels in an apocalyptic future and faces the Hulk, which is a weird thing because he's actually Mysterio. Man, it still kind of bugs me about that one.
Yeah, I don't quite understand that one.
Dude, we all know Mysterio is like the dude with the dome on his head, right? Like, it's just, I don't know. To me, it was weird. It's like a bad version of Hulk. That's all. But,
do you think Mysterio's plan finally came to fruition then in one of the timelines?
Yeah, like they're spelt differently, but they're really this, like, it makes it kind of confusing. But either way, Black Panther's War of Wakanda expansion launched in August, serving as the game's latest and largest expansion to date. Meanwhile, the game's marketplace contains an ever-growing lineup of cosmetics. Dude, some of the MCU skins in this thing are incredible, and that's where you pay the money for, right? Or if you want the challenge card, because as a new hero drops, you get challenges per hero. And you can grind the game out, get in-game currency, to then spend 1,400 in-game currency on that. Or if you were like me and you got the Black Panther update ready to go and didn't have enough I spent a little money, got some currency, and then I had the challenge card for it, right? So there is that side of things. But when it comes down to it, unfortunately, Marvel's Avengers has now stacked its marketplace with various consumable items, which the developers previously promised to never do, and fans are not happy. October 7th saw the marketplace update with a slew of paid consumable items, which players can buy in order to increase the amount of experience or resources they gain during the play. Players such as Reddit user... I'm not gonna. There's a bunch of them. We're quick to point out Crystal Dynamics promised that only cosmetics were to be purchased using real world currency. Scott, this is definitely a step backwards. Have they not seen the outlash at EA for in-game currency and loot boxes? Like, dude, the road's already been paved.
No, that's the first thing that comes to mind is what would you do if EA promised never to bring loot boxes in, and then they did? You know, nobody's going to be happy about that. And I'm not familiar enough with this Marvel Avengers title. Is there some form of loot boxes, or is it just a straight you buy the cosmetic that you want?
Okay, the way it works is it's the challenge cards, and each challenge card has 40 levels. You get so you focus on getting your challenges done. It goes towards the challenge card, and then that unlocks certain perks. So you'll get new takedowns, new skins, new nameplates, things like that, right? So that's kind of their work around the loot box system in a sense. And that works. Dude, that actually works. And nobody was hurt by that. But this move, it feels sneaky. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think that's the biggest problem, is just that the betrayal of this promise. But battle passes is something that we've seen kind of replace loot boxes, but it is much more palatable.
Oh, well, very, very much so, right? Because right then and there, you know exactly what you're getting. The problem with loot boxes is that you never knew what you get. This wheel would spin. It's just like, go. And then it would stop on something, right? And
it's a duplicate.
Whoa, dude. How many times do you... I opened up one of the I'm going blank, but it's the sleeves, right? The little packs on Rainbow Six, and it comes up as a duplicate. I'm like, another one, right? Like another one, and then half the time you're getting things I don't even care about. Operators I don't even use half the time. Ooh, a new helmet for them. Never use them. Don't care. Like there's certain things
there's
along
1,000 items, and 10 of them are for the character you want.
Right? So there's that, but now they've come out with a battle pass system for Siege, and that makes a big difference. I can see exactly what I'm getting here, and that's how the challenge card works for Marvel's Avengers. Now that's per hero, right? And then if you wanted some of these MCU skins, you would actually go in and purchase. And then that's the biggest part though, Scott, is that they said that is what you're working towards if you want to buy anything. And now they're going with XP boosts. Greedy, dude, with the influx, right? We talked about it last week. The influx of players because of Game Pass. They now put this in because people are starting out. Here's your chance to really boost yourself up. And that's what they're doing.
I'm thinking of something that happened just prior in this. Was there a level reset that happened? I remember there was some talk about people leveling too quickly and the system being kind of confusing, which is a confusing statement on its own.
Okay, so what happened was when you leveled up, Crystal Dynamics felt that you were leveling too quickly. And then because once you level up so much, you're able then to unlock new abilities. And because it was going so fast, you'd ramp up into a bunch of abilities and wouldn't really learn the systems all that well per character. So then they downscaled that, okay, which then saw a backlash of feedback saying, what are we all dumb? And that basically, right, is what happened. And then they fixed that, and now we're getting into this, and you can then, so now they want you to pay to level up so quickly. It's just like, Scott, they're just up and down, and they can't seem to find a level path to follow. Like 1 minute we're on a high, and the next minute we're like crashing down. We're now into October, right? So we have November, December. We have 2 months left, and Spider-Man is supposed to be here for us on PlayStation. Right?
That is exciting.
It's very exciting, but are we gonna it's just all this paid stuff and this mixed messaging of everything that they're doing right now for Avengers. Again, it goes back to that roller coaster of a ride we've been on for the past year of this game, and they still haven't been able to figure out how to level it off and go smoothly. No game ever goes smoothly because of updates, which then breaks this or then that breaks that, and then they gotta go in and they fix it. But do they listen to the community? If they listened to the community, Scott, they never would have done this in the first place.
No, it's unfortunate. I hope somebody on the other side of the fence is learning, though. So when
Oh,
we get DC Justice League that comes out with their kind of version of this, hopefully it's not just a copy, but
yeah.
it'll have some sort of forethought. Somebody has experimented already.
We'll see, buddy. We will see. But there's a lot of experimenting still going on and a whole lot of rumors. That's because Metal Gear Solid 3 rumors are still dropping, dude. There's more over on the LinkedIn page over at Verdos. Employee could be proof that the developer is currently working on a remake of Metal Gear Solid 3. We touched on this last week, and I wanted to bring it up real quickly because there's a job posting which basically cited that they're looking for some help on such and such and this and that, but never actually said anything about Metal Gear. This is all rumors, dude. So who knows what's going on? But it was spotted by Twitter user Faizan Saki. We're gonna go with that. Previous reported that Virtuous is the studio developing Metal Gear Solid 3 remake may have gained further vitality thanks to a LinkedIn. According to the LinkedIn page, the Virtuous programmer Ziyang Lee. I think that's right, Scott. Is that right? It's kind of going.
It could be Jiang.
Jiang. Yeah, maybe that sounds better. Jiang Lee. The developer is currently working on an unannounced AAA action-adventure remake for multiple platforms. Lee writes that the game will feature AAA quality level art as well as set pieces destruction in 4K. While the LinkedIn update doesn't, dude, it literally doesn't say anything about Metal Gear. That could be a wide aspect of who knows what kind of game, man.
Yeah, that really could apply to just about anything coming down the pipeline. But well, the reason it got our attention is Metal Gear, and
Absolutely.
if that is indeed the Metal Gear 3 remake, oh boy, take my money.
That's that's the biggest thing, right? Everybody went instantly right to Metal Gear Solid 3 with very little knowledge of actually what is going on. Could they be right? We're all hoping so. We're huge fans of Metal Gear here. We all know the situation with Kojima and Konami and the fact that that's just never going to happen again. And Kojima doesn't want to make another Metal Gear. So what do? We get a remake. Scott, you and I touched on it last week quickly. The fact that, dude, I really love 3. 3 is probably my favorite within the franchise altogether. So looking forward to this. It sounds fantastic. But I really want the first one to be remade too.
Yeah.
Because so many...
Remake it again.
Well, I know. It's like, dude, it's like Nintendo remaking another Super Mario Brothers for us. We'll buy it again, right? But it's so many people have missed the foundation of Metal Gear and where it started. And dude, I remember diving into the water, coming up, and then going up the elevator, and then right, and then the splash screen, and then you're just like Metal Gear. Like, wow.
And then the guys are walking around in the snow. They see your footprints, and I think everybody who played that went, "Wait, what?"
Well, exactly, right? And dude, okay, so for those who don't know, Metal Gear Solid 1 was actually on PlayStation 1. PlayStation 1, not PlayStation 5, right where we're at right now. All those years ago, right? So, dude, the hype behind that would be incredible as well. I am very pleased to see that rumors are flying about Metal Gear Solid 3 because I played that on PS2. And, dude, I love that. PS2, PS3. It's been a while. But either way, I love that game as well. But, man, Metal Gear. Who knows, dude?
It lives in our hearts every single day.
And on my arm. But that's for another story. Let's get going. Dude, we got more. We got stuff coming from Apple appeals against court ruling that would enable external payment options. Anti-steering restrictions were to be lifted in December, but iPhone maker wants to wait until after legal process. This comes from James Batchelor over at thegamesindustry.biz. Apple has filed an appeal against the judge's decision from this year's trial against Epic Games. Reuters report that the iPhone firm has asked the U.S. federal court to pause orders that require it to change its anti-steering practices in the App Store. Apple has claimed that enabling this change would cause harm to its own business and its consumers. It also claims that it is working on a solution that would enable developers to inform users of external payment channels, but still collect commissions and protect them from scams. Dude, that's so for those who haven't heard what's going on, Apple basically kicked off Epic Games from putting Fortnite on there because Epic Games decided to bypass Apple's payment system and went directly right into Epic's account. They didn't like that. They kicked them off. Epic didn't like that, so they sued them. They landed in court for a long time, and by the end of it, really, the judge decided that that was a viable option, is that they can open up this payment system. And Apple now wants to prevent people from doing that because they don't want to be bypassed, Scott. Like, they make a ton of money. We talked about it last week that Apple Store made more money than PlayStation, Xbox, Nintendo. Was it Nintendo? It was Activision. Like, some of the biggest publishers in the world, all combined, they made more on the Apple Store. So
it costs money to do business in Appletown.
Well, yeah, it sure does, but Apple's making all that money, right? They make a ton of money. They make 30%. They take 30% off of everything you purchase. So if you spend $1, dude, they're taking 30% of that dollar. And sometimes when we go, oh, it's just $1, sure. But the millions and millions and millions of people that use that spend $1, dude, they're just making millions of dollars, right? That's what it comes down to. And Epic didn't like that. I get it, but dude, you signed the contract with Apple to do this agreement and to put your game there. And then Epic wants to put their game back on, and Apple said not a chance.
I suspect that Epic Game Studio or app also takes some sort of a cut of all the business done on there. So it's a little hypocritical if that is the case.
Absolutely, because Epic Games right now, if you go to the Epic Games Store, they take something like 18%. Yeah, it's not 30, but it's 18. So they're still taking a cut, right? So yeah, you got to pay for your services. Well, so does Apple. But they want to be able to bypass that service in some extent. But Apple doesn't want to put all their users at risk. So it's a fine balance line between going back and forth. And I honestly don't know all the ins and outs of the system. But from a base level, this is the impressions that I'm giving. So this is my opinion. You can agree with me or disagree with me. That's just the way I stand and how I feel what's going on. But dude, it's definitely curious to watch all this stuff. It keeps unfolding, dude. When the minute we thought it was done, it was still not over. It's still not over for the next while, I'm sure.
No, it's had a huge amount of airtime and it will continue.
Absolutely. Dude, here's one I want to talk about because it's Back for Blood devs discussing how to make solo mode more rewarding. Quote,
oh, I have a suggestion for them right off the start before we get into this. How about you make it so that offline I can still play the game? That's a big problem I've discovered now as my Xbox Live has run out for about another week. I can't play the game.
Wow, that bites, dude. This comes from Jared Moore over at IGN. Turtle Rock Studio, the developer behind Back for Blood, has acknowledged community frustration around the game's lack of progression in solo mode and is looking at ways to make it more rewarding. As spotted by Eurogamer, the developer thanked fans on Twitter regarding their feedback on solo mode before explaining that is looking at different ways to remedy the community's concerns. Quote, "We have heard your frustration about progression in solo mode and are discussing ways to address the issue," said Turtle Rock Studios. Quote, "Thank you for your patience and feedback at this time. We'll have more news as we strategize on potential ways to make it happen," end quote.
Okay, well, that is a very positive move. There's been a lot of game studios that just do not engage. They kind of get the feedback or they ignore it, but they don't respond in time. And this at least is somebody just addressing the concern directly. And I'm a big fan of that. I like the open communication.
Yep.
And this is another example of that.
Absolutely. Dude, the game's dropping today. It's in our list. It is what it is. We've already had access to it. We've been played it. I played it. It's
you have.
Well, yeah, you have not, unfortunately. But yeah, I've been able to play it. And my biggest problem with jumping online is that it's, if you don't have a team, right? We're talking about solo mode. You go in solo, and I'm playing with randos because you can go online with randoms. And the biggest problem is, dude, they all took my ammo. And
yeah, I had nothing. As my friend Devin did.
Right? They take all your ammo, and I'm left with a machete, hacking and slashing my way through things. That can only last for so long until I'm downed. So yeah, it's definitely got a couple things that they could do. Dude, I'm really shocked that there's just not here's some AI companions in the meantime.
Yeah, they've been doing that forever, and Turtle Rock specifically been doing this with Left 4 Dead. There was AI companions, so it's really just a wonder why.
So I'm pretty early. Yeah, I'm pretty early in the game. So we just had Thanksgiving weekend, and then, dude, I had not had a chance to get to it. It was
it's busy.
A crazy weekend. Scott, I want to get into one particular article. Are you ready for this one?
All right.
We're gonna do it quickly, and then we're gonna follow it up with our games out today. But IGN rated the 10 best AC games.
Oh, my first thought was 10. Oh yeah, wait, there's like 20 of them.
Well, yeah, so they said this is console games only. It won't be anything to do with mobile, handheld, nothing like that. So I'm gonna go down the list. You ready? Number 10, Assassin's Creed Unity. I thought it launched with a ton of bugs, but man, honestly, like that game, I love that game. That game is really good.
Rogue, they did something unique for the time. That was cool.
Absolutely. That was okay. So you got Unity, and then you got we'll talk about the other one afterward, because Rogue was number 9. Number 8 was Revelations. Number 7 was Brotherhood.
Oh yeah.
No, dude, Brotherhood was incredible, and it announced and launched with multiplayer, which had me instantly hooked because there's no multiplayer like it.
Big fan of that one.
Huge fan, and still to this day we haven't got another one, man. It disappeared, it vanished. So it's unfortunate. Valhalla came in at number 6, the latest installment in the franchise for Assassin's Creed. Number 5 was Syndicate. Number 4 was Assassin's Creed 2.
Oh, going way back. That does make sense, though. That was the beginning of Auditare.
Yep, absolutely. Ezio is a staple within this industry, and I think if it wasn't for Ezio's story and timeline, it wouldn't have hooked the fans to bring us in the way it has over the years, right? 3 was Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which I can see that's where I'm at right now in the timeline of gaming, I guess. Number 2 was Origins. Dude, Origins has got to be absolutely one of my top favorites in this franchise.
That one just didn't quite land with me. I don't know what it is, but that's unfortunate for me.
And dude, number 1, coming in at number 1 was Assassin's Creed Black Flag. That game is absolutely incredible, and I loved it. I wish we get a Black Flag 2.
Yeah, I'd be right on top of that one. That one's great. And they changed up some things. It was Assassin's Creed 3 that introduced the actual naval warfare, but Black Flag took it and ran with it.
Yeah, they honed it and on their skills and what we all wanted from it, right? But yeah, dude, give us Assassin's Creed Black Flag 2. That would be a blast. I love the whole pirate setting. That was incredible. And then, so the option, what happened was, next gen got Black Flag, last gen got Rogue. I'm pretty sure that's the way it was, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Rogue was so overlooked, which is really a tragedy. I love that one.
Yeah. So that is the one. I went on the Black Flag and I skipped Rogue. I'll be honest. So I have to go back. It is on my backlog of games to get back to. But either way, Scott, let's wrap it up, dude. Why don't we get into what games are out for today?
Well, we have Back 4 Blood, as previously mentioned. That is on PlayStation 4, 5, Xbox One, XS, and the PC. We also have Monster Crown. That's on PlayStation 4, Xbox One, the Switch, and PC. We have Ori, the Collection, coming to Switch. That is a solid one, if I do say so myself.
Absolutely.
And we have one that I believe you spent some time on in the past, and that is Disco Elysium, the final cut. This is on Xbox One, XS, and the Switch.
Yes. Who did I review that one with? Corey. Corey and I reviewed this one.
Yeah. Conversational RPG.
Well,
I believe that was cool.
It's an understatement. The conversations that go on in this game. I'll be honest, it didn't connect with me, dude. It just didn't click the way I was hoping it was really going to, because I loved the art style, the direction it was going, and then it really played with your mind and a lot of the aspects in it. Dude, it was absolutely a stellar game for a lot. I think it in the industry, it kind of either went with you clicked, or it didn't. And unfortunately I fell on the I didn't side of things. But Scott, that's going to wrap up today's show. This has been ITG Daily, the show that brings you the hottest in gaming news. Thank you for joining us. I'm Drew. That's Scott. Don't forget to hit us up over on Twitter, and we'll see everybody here tomorrow inside the game.